everybody, I am NicoD. So I bought new PC parts and today we are gonna put it together. Me together with
Jouri?
Yeah. So that's Jouri. So I'm gonna choose this case to put everything in. It is a giant, huge, big case, but it must stay where it is, so nobody will try to steal it. So that's good. These are the parts. I still have to open the box, so you will see that. So here we go! I had to wait for 3 days, but now it's time. Okay. So what do we have got? GeForce 1650. I'm happy with this. I first wasn't too happy with my choice, but I did some more research and it looks like it is the best choice that I could make for this money. Normally it would have been a lot cheaper, but because there is a shortage of GPUs, it was a lot more expensive. It was more than 100 euros more expensive than the price that it should be. And here the Aorus Elite motherboard is quite heavy. Then we've got the PSU 600 watts. This is overkill. My CPU. This is also very heavy, only with the cooler. So my CPU, the TDP is 65 watts, so that's not overclocked. My GPU is 75 watts, so both are very power efficient compared to other x86 parts. Then as last we've got our cryonaut and of course the RAM. Thank you, and some goodies. After the week, 15 years ago maybe. So let's take it out. Oh.
Yep, it's out.
Some older. These are from older coolers. There were a bit too many coolers in it.
6 internal fans, all connected by Molex.
2 here. That's crazy. I hope I can. No, I can't change the speed of it.
Yeah, it has speed connectors up on front on the case. It has a button over here.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can arrange the speed of the fans.
That's cool. Would my motherboard fit with these? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's
It's
possible
a
we have
micro-
to rearrange 2 of the support mounts,
I've got
maybe 3.
I've got stand mounts if it's necessary. Oh, supports. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd system. You have to release on both sides all the screws, and then you can push it outwards.
Forward.
Yeah, but we have to put the case up right because we have to undo the back panel also because there are 4 screws on the back panel.
Really?
It even has a cable arrangement on the back, so you can put all the cables through here. Those 4.
And now what?
If all the 4 screws are released,
Oh.
yeah,
Oh my god.
so this case has a place for 9 3.5-inch discs.
Oh my god. It's
Yeah, then you have to disconnect the Molex connector. Now you can put it forward.
oh, 1000 gigabytes. 1 terabyte, so that's okay. I'm gonna keep this.
And there's a filter on the front also, so you can pull out filters to clean it from dust.
That's clean for another 10 years. That's, and I'll just close it with 1 screw. Don't be stupid. 1 screw and it fits. It isn't loose, so we've got some spares. Okay, now it's time. Okay, so I'm gonna let you do.
Sure?
Yeah?
Okay. First, let's see if
Motherboard.
we have all the supports on the correct place for the motherboard fitment.
I don't think so. It's a micro ITX, so it will be this side, I guess.
Yeah, and we sure have to rearrange one to this place and this place, I think. But
We'll
first,
see.
let's have a look.
Oh, it looks really nice.
Yeah, the backplane is integrated now. It's not like in the old days.
How? I only got 1 hand. Okay.
So let's see, we can use
It's smaller than I thought.
this one.
The back.
Yeah, we can. We have to rearrange the backplate, but it's from the old one. But first, let's see which screws we have to use. So these 3 are in the correct place. So we'll have to rearrange this one. Yep. What I like to do before we put on the motherboard.
Don't make it drop.
No, I'm not gonna drop it. Before we place it into the case, I like to put the processor in place, the cooler in place, memory in place. That way we can put it in one piece,
Yeah.
and it will be a lot easier than to struggle into the case. So we're gonna put the case away and put the motherboard in center.
CPU! This is what I'm most longing for. To to watch 16 threads going through Blender. That's gonna be great. Oh, this is the cooler. And there it is, so tiny and so expensive. This must cost a lot per kilogram.
Yeah, I think so. It's pretty nice to have one of these in my hands. I still own a 2700X, so I'm
Mine
quite.
is better.
Yeah. Yeah, we're back to that era. In the early days, Nico always had the fastest PC. Then I once gained on him, and I had the fastest for 15, 20 years.
I didn't
Now
care
it's
about
back
PCs.
the opposite.
I didn't care about PCs anymore, so. But now I care about this. I really wanna play with it. It's such a tiny CPU.
This is the cool paste.
I know. I bought some cool paste.
I think the original cooler.
This is 10,000 euro per kilo. 10,000 euro per kilogram.
The original cooler has some cooling paste on it. They use a cooling pad, but I think it's better we
Break it
use
off.
some. Yeah, I'm a dot person.
You don't watch Gamers Nexus?
Yeah, I do.
I do. And then they break it off. Put the CPU on.
The more tight it is when putting it on, the less air bubbles it will contain. So I'm more a fan of this way of putting on.
Then you really have to center it when you put it on, or else it's gonna spread out to the wrong way or not.
No, it's not a problem.
Really?
As long as the
Put it
pressure,
on and take it off again so I can see.
then we will have air bubbles. Now just for the clip on.
I'm spoiled with new gear. I've got the Pinebook Pro. Now I've got this PC.
Oh, this is actually the cooler with all the LED lights in it.
Oh no, I don't like LED.
You have these two cables to connect it to your motherboard. If you want to put out all the LEDs, you need these cables because by default the LEDs will be on.
Wow! So those are just data cables.
It's a USB type of cable.
Serial.
Yep, and the other one is connected directly to a special port on the motherboard. I have those on my ASRock board, and you have them here.
Yeah.
LED C1 and the D LED 1.
But you have to do it.
It's channel it's A2 you have to use for the first dual channel and B2, so I have to replace this one. These memory bands look pretty nice.
Oh yeah, my Ender 2s. I better go get them.
Yeah, we're gonna mount them also before we put it in the case.
So for NVMe's, I've got this one, that's 500 gigabytes, but it is a SATA drive and not an NVMe drive. But it was a bad buy, it was very cheap, and I thought, okay, let's buy it. It's 500 gigabytes, it was 40 euros, so I bought it. And then I saw it was a wrong type, but this is an NVMe, so from Samsung 970, and I'm going to use this one and this one both on there. So that's going to be good, but I am losing my main NVMe for my RK3399, but I've got enough NVMe drives left. Okay.
So we're gonna put in the M.2 slot 1, we're gonna put the NVMe, which is obviously the faster one. And then we'll use slot B for the M.2 SATA.
It was half twice. So.
These drives aren't that bad actually. Alright.
Yep. Alright.
Okay, time to place it into the case.
Eerst kijken of dat nog goed nog.
Here we go.
Sorry.
Yeah, it aligns itself because it has a little spring into the back plane, so you have to arrange it when you screw it into place.
Double NVMe, 2 times 500 gigabytes. That's gonna be good. So on the Samsung I would install Windows, and on the Western Digital I would install Linux. Of course I want Linux. But the problem with Windows is that it doesn't read Linux drives well, so it's better to have 2 drives than 1.
This setup actually reminds me of when we had our first computers, and we had 486s, and we had like the same type of case with
Big
the same
cases.
size of motherboard like this now.
Normal motherboards, but giant cases of a meter. And we had to use a wheelbarrow to move them.
To play games.
And we did that so many times. It was normal to see us walking through our street with our wheelbarrow and our computer in it.
We even played games with a serial cable instead of a network because we didn't have any network cards.
But serial was good for gaming that back then. It's tiny!
You have to keep all the stickers and put them on your card for your bike.
I could do that. But they don't pay me for that. With your card. The box looks like it's a 1080 Ti, but
Damn, that's tiny.
yeah, it's tiny. But power efficient. And quite powerful for
We actually can compare it to
an older.
this is
So
N450 GTS, 1 gigabyte.
That's a double slot. That's also a double
Yeah.
slot.
Both are double slots. But it's so power
Does that
efficient.
fit in here?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it'll fit.
Okay.
It's so power efficient, it doesn't even need a 6-pin or 8-pin connector. That's awesome.
So it has got a display port, it has got an HDMI and also a DVI connector. So I can use 3 displays at the same time, but 2 will be enough. Mostly I wanted this because I can't watch 4K video on my display. I've got a 4K display and my old PC can only output 1080p and 1440p videos, so I couldn't film in 4K. So with this beast I'll be able to film and edit in 4K.
There's one connector we can't use, and that's the one for the front USB, because it's a USB 3 connector.
Yeah.
So we cannot use the 2. But we still have one connector for USB 2. But if we want to connect the cables for the LED management, we can't use that one.
Okay.
Or we could first connect it and then disable all the LEDs.
I always use my back plane because my PC stands like this.
Okay, then we don't have to connect it
towards me, so I don't need a front USB. I do need.
Who knows? Someone could sponsor you with a case that has USB 3.
And it still has PC2, PS2.
A lot of the B series chipset motherboards still have a PS2 connector.
Can I use that HDMI for pass-through?
I don't think so, because your CPU doesn't have a graphics chip. I think it's not possible to use the connector.
I wonder why this is.
Water cooling. Back in the early days, there wasn't any room in cases, or nobody thought about it to put it into the case. So every water cooler was an external device. Okay, let's take the power supply. And then we're almost ready to rock.
It's also modular?
No. I don't think there's any modular power supply in this price class.
It's almost finished.
Yeah, then we just have to connect the power button, HDD LEDs, and we're ready to go. The other way.
Cable management, something I wouldn't do at all. And my cables would be inside of every fan.
Back in the 286 era, we didn't have any cable management. So this is for the USB.
Why isn't my light on? Did you turn my light on? Okay. Doesn't make much difference.
And the LED.
So now you're connecting the LEDs for the cooler, and these go into the USB 2 connectors on the motherboards.
USB 2, and they have their own connector also to control the LEDs.
But they don't have a splitter to use one cable for two.
It isn't Corsair, so on the Corsair one you have that, but not on these ones.
And how do you know if it's upside down or not?
There's an arrow on the first pin to make sure you put it on the right place.
I know all these things, but my viewers must learn.
Okay.
Oh, I've got one part left. One moment, please.
Yep, that will work. The board even still has a serial port.
So this has got two NVMe's and also a SATA. Let's speed it up. What did you say? The board also has?
Serial connector, so you can
Oh,
still
yeah, parallel.
connect.
Also a parallel.
So that's a parallel.
Yeah. I read it on the.
It doesn't have a TPM chip, so if you want to install Windows 11, which you won't, you need to connect an external TPM.
It doesn't have it.
No.
Well, that is such a new motherboard. So, is there something wrong with the Microsoft Windows request? Or is there something wrong with my PC? Is my PC not good enough? Or is there something wrong with Microsoft?
No, it's bollocks. They use
Of course.
at least 8th gen Core i CPU.
But you
or
can
second
install. You can install on older PCs, but you just have to disable.
Yeah, indeed. So it is possible. Okay.
They are also a hardware company, so they want to sell.
It's all that counts today. Numbers, numbers, numbers.
Van nog een NVMe gaan.
Yeah. Okay, so we managed to get the cables into the back. So we have a little bit of cable management. It's not the best because it's an old case, but it sure will be better for the airflow in the case. So let's close it up.
There's enough airflow.
So we installed the power supply, everything is connected, well almost everything. The 1 terabyte drive is not connected to the power. We'll wait with that until we install the operating system. We did some cable management, but with all the fans and the old connections it's not really possible to hide everything in the backplane, but it's clean enough for our specs. So it's time to connect it and install some Windows. So we talked about the fan arrangement on front. So we can arrange the front fans and arrange the speed with this little knob. On the back there isn't a pot meter, so we have some buttons. This one is for the top fan, the big one. So you can put it on or off, and then you have low, middle and high speed. The two fans in the back each have a separate button for low, high or middle speed. Yeah, Nico, it's all yours.
So first boot. Let's see if everything has been done correctly. Fans on.
Yeah, all the fans are on full speed, I think. There's another button on top also. No, here. Yeah. No, it's not a push button. Maybe because the display is not connected to a power source. It is.
No signal.
And it doesn't go out with one click on the power button, so we'll have to put it out and do some troubleshooting.
No. Go get another cable for HDMI.
Yep. Yep. We are getting too old for this shit.
CPU power cable forgot. That's why I didn't do it. I
So you can blame me. We are rerouting. So, Nico, take two.
See if this is on. No. No, it's not flagging.
Ah, it's in the wrong HDMI.
Come on. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I'm gonna make
I have USB with the latest 21H1 on it. So let's install Windows. I'm choosing for UEFI. Oh, both drives are 500 gigabytes. Which of the two drives had something installed? The 917? Because the other one is completely empty, there's nothing on it. So I suppose that's the SATA one?
Oh yeah, that's the SATA.
Yeah, okay, so this is the...
Samsung.
Okay.
That may be used for... Yeah, the SATA is never used because I couldn't use it in any device. So it's good, I can use them both.
Yeah.
1 terabyte of extremely fast I could do rate 0, so it is twice per
And striping, yes.
But I'm not gonna do that. It's
But you will need 2 NVMEs. If you do striping with different drives, you will have performance issues. Look at that go!
How are you installing it?
I used my USB key. It has normally 21H1 or 20H2 on it. Okay, Windows is installed.
I'm unable to create IP.
Let's see if I installed correctly. Yes, because the boot manager is on the Samsung. Yay! 16 threads. Let's have a look. So we're on 20H2. We still have one update to go to 21. Can't focus. And we have 16 threads.
How did you show that?
If you click right, you can click for total usage or logical CPUs. Whoa, I actually learned Nico something today.
I don't use Windows that much.
Yep. Yeah, we would know. Doesn't take long. No.
No. No.
No.
No.
Let's test how many noise this makes if we put all the fans on max.
A lot. Jesus. And what happens with the smoke? It goes out.
Yep. Yeah, these go out also.
Yeah.
These go in. So if you blow here, the smoke will go through, and it pulls all the smoke out on top and on the bottom.
That's a very cool system.
So if
Yeah,
you do
very
some
cool
heavy benchmarks of heavy rendering,
I don't think that will be necessary with the CPU.
I don't think.
When I overclock it.
Yeah.
Certainly for the GPU overclocking should need a bit more cooling.
Especially when you want to play Cycling Manager in 4K.
Yeah, I really want to do that. That's one of the biggest reasons I bought this for Cycling Manager.
That's by far Nico's standard. Everyone says, can it run Crysis? Can it run Cycling Manager? Okay, Nico, you have to enter your Wi-Fi password, and then you can do some tests.